Welcome back to another episode of Red Hill Racing Podcast. I'm Ben Knight, joined once again by my co-host, Mr. 43X, Dustin Lee. What's going on, Dustin?
I forgot to update my name. On the
What
thing, I got it.
was you
Sorry.
going to update it?
Oh, it used to say Mr. 43 time, right? Ain't
Yeah,
that what it said?
yeah.
Anyway, no, just still licking my wounds and trying to catch up on sleep from racing like me and you both did, and a lot of other people this weekend. And
Yeah.
that's what we're here for. We're gonna recap a little XDA
A little
and
XDA action all up in you, as our
talk
buddy would
about
say.
yeah, he's a big topic on that. And
Yeah, for sure.
uh, go over all these classes and try to fill everybody in on what happened that
It
didn't
was
know.
it was an interesting weekend, right?
It's a
But
little bit. I
first and
mean, first of all, first thing about the weekend. Well, you go ahead
hold
and do
on.
what you're about to do, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about the weekend.
Yeah. First and foremost, probably not safe for work because we're going to get excited at some point. That's a hillbilly and redneck for you. Anyways, y'all, shout out to our awesome sponsors, University of Wind, which we'll get to plenty here shortly. Our members were kicking ass this weekend. We'll get to that, but man, they were on fire. BMF Motorsports, Max ECU, Montgomery Motorsports, MPS Racing, Penske Racing Shocks, who we missed dearly at this past event. Yours truly, Hard Times Parts and Service, DME Racing. Going to do a little DME giveaway tonight. We've got Schnitz Racing. Schnitzes were missed as well this past weekend. We got Brock's Performance and BST Wheels, MTC Engineering. Man, I felt bad. Like I seen Eric riding by and just didn't get to stop and talk to him. So shout out to Eric and the whole MTC crew. We got Mitch Brown and Monster Race Products. Ralphie Navarro made a surprise visit this past weekend. Platinum General Services was in the house. Last but certainly not least, we got Dave and Worldwide Bearings, the best balls you can put in your hands. That's it.
Well,
That's what we got. And of
it's the
course,
balls that you can handle carelessly. I guess I
that's
don't
right.
know.
That's right.
um,
Um, but
uh,
we shout out to all y'all, the listeners, supporters, the subscribers. We love y'all. We had fun with that little quick live we did from the track. We might try and do another one of those there at the last event. So it was fun. We'll try and be a little more organized and let everybody know if we're gonna do that again. Shout out to everybody that stopped by. So all right, where you want to start?
what I was going to point out about the weekend was very odd for Virginia. Amazing weather.
It was pretty solid, yeah.
I don't
And
think there's many times we've been in Virginia it hasn't rained at least
well, that
once.
I agree with because I told you beforehand it was going to rain. You're like, nah, the weather's perfect. I'm like, I don't care. It's VMP. It always rains no matter what.
And it
Thunderstorms,
didn't
some
it
shit.
didn't rain.
It didn't. I
And
didn't even
it
like,
wasn't very hot. It was good weather.
yeah, it was beautiful Thursday and Friday, warmed up a little bit Saturday. Sunday got a little toasty there, but it was still nice. Yeah, it was beautiful, man. Like didn't even have to worry about tents or nothing with wind. It was just great weather. So um it was it was a weird weekend. It seemed like literally there was a dozen oil downs every day. That's what it felt like. Now I know it really wasn't, but
I mean, I
man,
think we had six on Saturday, and
we must
because
have had six on Sunday.
the reason I know that is because Jason pointed it out to me when I was under the tower waiting to go, and um, man, like it's gonna happen. You
Oh
go to
yeah.
these races, and there's 500-600 entries going down the racetrack. Well, the odds of 6 or 7 of them each day puking something is going to happen. Like you just
Yeah.
that needs to be a figured in factor at any kind of big event like that. Now, if you have 100 motorcycles on the property, you may or may not have a hold down. But when you got that many entries and that many people racing, it's probably going to happen. The odds is
Yeah,
pretty high.
but it was still more than normal, it felt like and seemed like, especially for like the warmer weather, like generally you see that at the last race. So a little scared for October.
I just feel like it's going to happen. Like I
Yeah.
think that,
You're probably not wrong. You're probably not
and it's
wrong.
not just it's. I mean, okay, the ones that took longer to clean up were for sure the Grudge and pros, but we had bracket guys blow up. Robin kicked a rod. Um, it happens. Like it's just going to happen. I don't
Dang, I
care.
didn't know Robin kicked a rod out.
Yeah, I talked to her before we left there on Sunday, and she told me that hers kicked a rod, and then Ronnie's blowed up too again. So they both blowed a motor up
Well,
again. At the
I do know that I've never seen them leave that early because they were like rolling out, waving to me before I was even packed.
Yeah, they were packed up, and I was still running around waiting on the later rounds, and I was stopped by there and talked to him for a minute, and just told Robin bye, got me a hug,
There you
because
go.
she didn't race me and beat me this weekend like normal, so I didn't get no hugs.
Man, I did not get one this weekend either. First off, I
I
mean,
got
you,
two. She come by my trailer to
oh
get me
man,
one.
I'm jealous. Shout out to Robin. We love
Yeah.
you. We love you too,
Hmm.
Ronnie. We
Yeah.
love the whole
Yeah.
family.
Ronnie, all right.
They
Yeah.
drove by and I was like, I love y'all. That's what I shouted when they
Yeah.
drove by and leaving. Um, I do want to tell everybody if I missed getting to see you and talking to you this past weekend or any weekend this year, it's just different now, y'all. I mean, Dustin knows like I got the family at the track and I love it. But like when I'm not racing, I'm trying to be helpful and hang out with them as well. So it's a lot on Tiffany. So I just don't get to go out and roam and hang out as much. So if I miss seeing you, miss shaking your hand, giving you hugs, whatever it may be, I apologize. But there's a lot of people that I didn't get to talk to that I really wanted to. So I'll leave it at that.
A lot of
Let's
times,
get
if you was talking to people, you were walking Walker on his leash.
yeah, yeah, chasing his ass around, man. You know, I watched the most racing from the playground this weekend, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
another thing that kind of sucks a little bit is like I just haven't got to see like, dude, I've watched almost zero grudge and almost zero, well, pretty much almost zero of anything. I just if I'm not racing, I'm back there. But that's okay. That's why I missed out on some stuff. But where you want to start? I kind of know where I want to start, but it's out of order.
I mean, I think the biggest thing about the weekend to me would be the Pro Street Final.
Let's let's start with Pro Street then.
What was you thinking? I mean, we
I
usually start it
was
with the
pretty
Gamblers race.
close. I was pretty
Okay.
close. I was actually going to do Real Street.
Uh, I just think the biggest race of the weekend would be Pro
You want to
Street.
start it off with that?
Probably the closest race of the weekend, to be honest.
It's
We
yeah,
I
without a
can go
doubt.
after it.
I got it pulled up. Well, first off, it started off in qualifying, and I know
The
it was
lumberjack
Friday,
come in
right?
there and showed everybody what was up.
That was Friday night, though, right?
Hell,
When
I don't
Rodney
know.
raced, I'm pretty sure it was Friday night that Rodney laid down a pass at 239 miles an hour, which
Friday
went
night, yeah. Then
yeah.
Saturday was the other one. Yep.
Yeah. So Rodney right out the gate said, "Hey guys, I'm still here. Hello." And was waving to everybody. And then this was funny because Saturday I was at the playground and whenever it was Saturday evening, I don't even know when, um, couldn't really hear the Fabian because most of the speakers were down for some reason anyways.
Lightning struck them.
And okay. And anyways, I knew Pro Street was running, but I'm at the playground and all I did was see the board light up in 239 on Saturday. So I'm like, wow, dang, Rodney done backed it up. No, no, that was Mr. Justin Shaker, Mr. Shakira himself, going 641 with a 5 at 239.57. And you know what was hilarious? I seen Justin I think it was Sunday, and I laughed at with him because I said, man, I said, if you could have planned that, would you have planned to qualify one thousand, yeah, one thousand quicker than Rodney and beat his mile per hour by like point 0.3? And he just burst out laughing. Cause I mean, like, you can't actually try and do that, but that's the way it worked out. So
Now you're just trying to go fast as they can without dying on them
yeah,
things.
that's insane. Literally 240 miles an hour. That's
Those two
crazy.
passes is the fastest mile per hour ever, right? Like I think
Oh,
there's,
without a doubt. Like, I
yeah.
think 235 or
Now I
236,
don't know if
maybe.
they backed it up. Did they? I don't think they
Um,
did.
I don't, well, Jason posted records for Real Street today, so let me see if the pros have changed. It looks like no, but it looks like Jason Dunnigan
235 or whatever.
237
Yeah.
from this
Yeah.
past weekend. So
So he
Jason
backed his up.
claimed the record at 237 this weekend. New
Yeah.
record,
So
new pro street
Rodney and
speed.
Justin probably made the fastest pass effort
Oh,
ever,
for
but
sure.
didn't back it up to make a record. Okay.
Yep, yep. So congrats to Jason for not only getting a record, but spoiler alert, he won the race. And as Dustin alluded to,
The
closest
most
race of the
epic
weekend,
final.
probably.
Yeah, I mean it was triple O four margin. Like
That's
and
insane.
the most impressive part to me is these two went down the track at the worst time of day during at Virginia. The sun is behind the tree. The sun is like the shadow of the tree. The tree's a
Oh
shadow to
gosh.
the sun
We're
this
talking
at
about
this
the
point of the
sun.
day. And
My
well,
blood
the
pressure's
crazy
spiking.
part is Rodney was 012 and Jason was 018. Like they were both 01.
Smash. And me and Dustin will take those lights every single
Oh yeah.
pass while we're
Pro
bracket
Streets come
racing.
up like these guys have come a long way because they used to never cut lights like that. Like and now
In round
it's
two, Jason was 001.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
And he
heard
actually needed it. Actually, I'm looking at these results. Him and Darian Payne raced in round two. Jason went a 6:43 with an 8, and Darian went a quicker 6:40, and Darian was 38 on the tree. So literally that, oh my goodness, that was a heck of a tight race there.
yeah,
I mean, the three, dude, that was a double O margin there. Holy
yeah,
cow.
yeah.
Wow, insane. But the final, as Dustin said, you had Rodney and Jason. Jason's 018, Rodney's 012. Jason runs a 636 with a 0 and Rodney a 636 with a 6. And they were 6 thou separated the tree, as Dustin said, 0.0004 was the MOV.
Yeah, I think I might have
Insane.
said 4,000s. It was four
Four
ten
ten
thousands.
thous, yeah, four
Yeah,
ten thou.
yeah.
Insane. That's just absolutely
See,
so.
that has to be, which is, it's a bold thing to say that was the closest race to weekend when you got 100 Pro ET racers there, but because it's their
I'll
job
bet
to
on
make
it.
it close as a
Yeah.
Pro ET racer, and it's not their job to make it close. It was just a good old drag race, like just good stuff.
I would throw a Chris Benjamin down.
Yeah.
That was the closest race of the weekend. I'm not gonna look and figure that
And I
out,
had
but I
some double
would.
O's. I had my personally, I had in 560, I had a double O, but not triple O. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Um,
Realistically, if we as a bracket racer, if you take triple O, you almost messed up
oh,
pretty
you messed
much.
up for sure.
Yeah. If you want to know more about
Sometimes I
that,
take double
University of
O.
Win would be the place to learn about that. But
No doubt, no doubt. But yeah, that was insane to watch, and that was the quickest side by side race ever.
yeah, I mean,
636 with a 0, 636 with a 6.
there was a little mile an hour missing that lap from those two,
Yeah, they
but
went 232 and 231. But
that
generally speaking, the quicker you go, the mile per hour is not there because they were getting it early.
I feel like that 1.63 mile per hour that Jason had over Rodney was what gained that triple O four. I really think that that little bit of mile an hour is what let him just creep around him enough to win.
Yeah.
Which I know mile per hour don't win races, but that's the gain that he had, the top end charge, you know.
Hmm.
So it's probably
Yep.
very rare. I think Jason mentioned that to me that Rodney said that he's nobody ever drives around Rodney. Like that's not what happens, you know. And Jason told him that we could do it again, which I thought was funny.
Oh gosh, that
You
is
know,
funny.
Jason's always talking trash and just living life, right? So,
Yeah.
and him and Rodney is good friends. I mean, hell, his kid usually runs. Jason's kid runs around the Williford shirt on half the time, or Aaron Linton shirt, or something like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty cool. Just a big
Another
old
cool,
family.
yeah, another cool thing is the entire field qualified 680 or better in Pro Street, which to be honest, I don't know if they have all been 6 second qualifiers or not, but I haven't paid enough attention, but that seems unique to me.
We did have the fastest top sportsman field ever this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that too. So we'll
Yeah.
get to that. Shout out Mr. Brett Ware. He was the lone Pro Street B class, so he took that W unopposed.
Yeah.
But hey, there's that. Let's go to Real Street, man. There's another playground class. I was at the playground on Saturday, y'all, and I knew it was Real Street, but once again, all I could see was the boards, and I couldn't hear shit Fabian was saying. All I saw was insane times getting thrown down. I seen a 740. I seen a 742. I seen a 44, a 46, a 48. That 45 might have even been there that day. It was insane. And anyways, the top 7 in Real Street all qualified in the 740s. With David Fonda and Poppy taking
You must not have been at the playground, but the biggest thing was 739
that was in eliminations.
round one. Yep.
Yeah. No, but I was talking about Saturday. I was getting
Oh,
to
oh, oh.
qualifying first.
Yeah.
I'm saying that round of qualifying, whatever round I watched on
Yeah.
Saturday, I seen at least 5 or 6 of those seven,
Yeah.
6 4 or
Oh, it
740
was
passes.
it was raining them. It was raining 40s. Like I don't really know why though, because the weather was good, right? But it wasn't like fall nationals good. Like,
Yeah.
but it was good for really good for Virginia. We've never been to Virginia and it be this uh comfortable outside. It's usually 90 degrees and you're about to, kick over, which it was a little
Yeah.
more spicy on Sunday, but Friday and Saturday was amazing.
Yeah, and to your point, Poppy briefly had the new record at 740, which I thought was an insane enough. Mr. Andy Simon on his Harley went a 46 at 196 qualifying, and as Dustin said, come first round, he rolled the dice, and yeah, it paid off because hold on, I lost it. There we go. Um,
739.7 at 199.49, almost 200 on a lead sled.
that's insane. The Harley got it done. New record, new speed, new ET in speed record. Andy Simon.
That's cool. I mean, I was excited to see I knew those guys had potential to go fast, but they never really get to race on, you know, a track that is as good as XDA, even though it might not be the best prep, but it's still better than what they're used to running on.
Yeah.
So
I
they're
wish
actually getting to use it.
I just hate I didn't get to actually see it. That'd have been really cool to witness, and I did not.
Yeah. As a podcast, we probably should have been videoing
Dude, well, yeah, I mean,
it.
there's a lot of things I wish I'd done over the weekend.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I was beating
So,
my head against the wall half the time, so that's my
well,
excuse.
yeah, yeah. We had a repeat finalist from the race before, Miss Destiny Spurlock, found herself in the finals against Mark Hilton this time. Unfortunately, looks like based on the ET, Destiny had some issues, maybe spun, maybe wheelie, not sure. But Marcus got the big W. He actually went a 747 in the
Big old
finals.
jet pass,
Yeah.
747.
Yeah, they were rolling, but like I
I
said,
do want
top,
to
go
point
ahead.
out, like these all like the real street guys, I think it's so impressive that you see a all motorbike going 182, 180. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
174, 170. Like it's just crazy to think 178. That's all motor. Like it's nuts that they're going that fast. I mean,
Yeah,
them things
going
are
180
running.
plus all motor, that's
It's a big
that's
deal.
spicy.
Yeah.
That's spicy for sure. It was pretty cool. Me and Dustin were talking beforehand. I mean, like we said, the top 7 qualifiers were in the 40s, and 5 of those were different combinations. So pretty sweet to see that. And we'll see what
Yeah.
happens in the coming days. There's some murmurs, so we'll see if any rules change or whatnot. But they had a
Things
full
be changing.
field. They had a full field. Had the top half at least. The very top half was very close. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. So shout out to them, all the real street competitors. We know how hard that class is. From my involvement in it, and Dustin's been involved in the past too. Don't y'all forget we helped put together the real street. What the hell do we call that? I don't even know.
Was it like a Royal Rumble? It
I think
wasn't the
that was a
Battle
pro street.
Royale. No, the
Oh,
Pro Street
Royal
was the
Rumble
battle.
then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we done the Royal Rumble. They was the
Yeah.
Battle Royale. Yeah.
We helped facilitate that years ago. So don't y'all think that we're not
Well,
involved.
you really organized it. We threw
We were
money
a
at it.
sponsor and I was a
Yeah,
sponsor and yeah, it was a team
yeah.
effort. So
I wanted to do that again this year, maybe 2025.
yeah, we'll try and maybe work on something for then.
Yeah.
So moving on, what do you want to go to? We might as well do just entire reverse order, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, we are
Oh, we missed the B
second
class. Sorry. Shout out to Mr. Dre
Brett.
Taylor.
Oh, Brett. I thought Brett was.
That
Oh,
was
Real
Pro
Street
Street.
B. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry, Dre. We did not forget you, man. We did not forget you.
No,
Dre
that's
got the
my buddy
W.
there.
Yep.
Actually, I sent somebody to him for some work the other
There you
day.
go. Helping each other out. You want to go to Pro Extreme? You got that
Yeah,
pulled
I
up?
like this class. I got things to talk about in this
Go
class.
for it.
There was some uh familiar but not familiar in the class faces this weekend in that class.
And a lot
And
of people.
yeah, we actually had a big turnout. And
13. I don't think I've ever seen more than 8.
yeah, I think that was cool. I like this class. I think this class is it runs real smooth. There's not a lot of, drama. It's just a good running little smooth class. There's usually not this many, it's damn near double the field that it usually has. But the faces, Jeremy Teasley out there running Pro Extreme. And then, of course, which he's been there before, but he's dabbling back in it a little bit, is Richard Gatson. He's
Yep.
back in the class. And,
Well, but you got to expand on that a
well, I mean,
little
he,
bit. The cool
the,
thing
the
was that,
crazy part was it was a Brad Mummert uh, trailered machine and it had wheelie bars on it.
yeah,
Everybody's so confused. I mean, Brad's truck said no, has a sticker that says no wheelie bars, but then his bike that he brought had wheelie bars. Now
yeah,
I'm a Brad guy. Like I like Brad. Brad's a super cool guy. He's old school. He's never going to quit racing. He might say he's thinking about it, but this dude ain't gonna never stop going to racetrack. It's in his blood. Too deep. Ain't happening. And they're trying some new stuff. It basically looked like you were looking at the Pro Street Bikes engine combo in a Pro mod. It Vance and Hines cylinder head cases. It's and I do know I did see that I think him and Jeremy, Richard and Jeremy both had like sub 1 second shorts.
yeah. They both did.
Pretty cool. I mean, first time out there. Now me and you both know that those two dudes can ride anything, but it was still cool to see them out there doing it.
It's cool to see different people on different things,
Yeah.
And then we
But
had some other surprise
another new
people.
face, Paul Gast, that we haven't seen. I don't think ever. Has Paul ever been
Man,
to XDA?
I mean, not that I recall because
I
that
don't.
was the first thing I noticed when I pulled in
We
because
pulled in the track. Yeah, they were on the
well,
outside row.
yeah, well, no, even better. I was literally behind them in line to get in. I was like, well, there's only
Oh,
one person that could be, with this fast by gas,
yeah.
stacker and toter. And I was like, that must be the OG himself. So,
Yeah, it
um,
was very cool to see Paul and Butch at XDA. I don't
I
think I've
know. And I didn't get to talk to him either. Literally, I
me
seen
neither.
Butch at one time in the lanes and he pointed at me and I pointed at him, but I had just put my helmet on. So,
Yeah, I never got to talk to him
somebody
either.
else, man, and I feel bad for this because I'm pretty sure he was actually I know he was parked right beside me, literally right beside me, but I don't really know him, and I don't know. Anyways, I should have said something to him. I mean, I talked to him a little bit, but I should have talked to him more. Terry Wynn, and I just remember watching him race, Man Cup days and stuff. So,
Hmm.
um, just some old school pro mod and bar bike racers out there. It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah,
Um,
but
yeah, let's
you
get
know,
to it.
familiar faces was in the final that you would think would be in a pro extreme final or pro mod, whatever you want to call it. Paul Gast in the final against Terry Schwager. Like
Yep.
I I'm not surprised. I'm not taking anything away from everybody else, but Paul's been doing this for a minute. Terry's been fast for a while. Um, you know, in the final, let's see, Terry went a 390 at 186, and
Insane.
Paul went a 397 at 178.
Yeah.
090 to 061. Man, realistically, Paul just got the turbo drive by down there. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that thing,
well,
they back half and the weather was good and everybody was faster than they had been for some weird reason. But I mean, the weather was good, but not that good. But there
well, and
was,
unfortunately, Paul had his worst light of the day in the final. The round
yeah.
before, he was 017 and went 397 to beat
And
out
he would
Chris
have won that
Cutzinger.
round if he was 017 or,
Yeah,
or hell, he could have been. No, he'd had to been right there because he had him 700s at ET, so he needed to be uh
literally
020 or
017.
better. Oh
Yeah,
07, yeah, 020 or better would have been like a dead heat, basically. So it'd been to the 10,000s.
and
So
Mr. Cutzinger set a new mile per hour record too. And while we're on, there's records everywhere this weekend. He went
yeah, and hasn't he won like
190. He was the champion from last year.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
such a
he's won
shame.
every race too this year that they've had, I think. I
Oh,
think.
I'm not sure about that. I
I
don't.
remember hearing Fabian saying when he lost that it was a big deal, when he lost
Uh,
in the semis.
I will tell you right now. No, I think Dale. Yeah, it was Dale.
Oh,
Dale
it was
Leaks. Yeah,
Dale. Dale
had won
Leaks.
the
Yeah, you're
first
right.
two. Yeah,
Yep, yep, yep,
Chris
you're
is
right.
having
It was Dale.
was a little bit of struggle trying to defend that number one this year. It looks like, but yeah, Dale had won the prior two races.
Yeah,
So
you're right. Yeah, it was Dale Leaks. It's so hard to keep up with all of it.
I know.
Fabian's talking. I got people at my trailer, and it's just crazy.
Nah,
But
it's all good.
we try to absorb what we can.
Yeah. So that was cool. We liked that class.
Super stock wasn't a surprise, was it? I'm gonna have to give my dude Mike Davis a shout out. Number two again, man. What the fuck?
Oh, fuck. We were on Mike's ass this weekend too. We was talking some
Yeah.
shit. We said only broccoli for you, pal. And he was like, "What the heck?" And we were like, "Man, we just care about you. We want you to get that win."
Hey,
Yeah,
he did out mile an hour Jeremy in the final though.
the two Ohio guys, the goat and Mike Davis is a goat too, by the way.
Yeah, he's just like that one goat you
The
got in the
bigger goat.
field.
He's the
Yeah, that's a
bigger
little
goat with
plumper
the
than the rest
horns.
of them.
Man, but
And he's ornery. He's the one that headbutts you and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like he's that, yep, yep. Anyways, yep, it's hard to beat Mr. Teasley on a stock wheelbase 14. I mean, I'm pretty sure he, has dreams at night riding a stock wheelbase. He might sleep on a 14 at night. I have no fucking clue, but
Yeah, like
it's
he probably wears like ZX14 boxers to bed.
yeah,
Like
like y'all know they say it goes together like peanut butter and jelly. No,
that's Jeremy and a
it goes
ZX14.
together like Jeremy Teasley and a ZX14 is what it
Yeah,
goes together. So
no doubt.
no surprise there. It was tight though. JT went a 888 and Mike went a 892, and they were real similar on the tree. But yeah, it was a big field. 22 bikes qualified. Um, I got to shout out my homie,
Sean.
Mr.
I mean, he
Sean
PB'd
Henson.
this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he qualified number 5 on the little 1,000, the first 1,000 to get behind these big blocks, and he went at 894 at
Highest,
163.
I think that's the highest mile per hour of the weekend for the
Yep,
class.
my homie had the best mile per hour of the weekend,
No,
and
no. Oh, wait, no. Sean went
three,
162.29 at
and
round two.
well, he went 63 at some point too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, 163.63. He had highest mile
Wow.
per hour.
That's awesome.
Um, and then he backed that up first round, come out swinging. He went at 884. That was his new personal best. That's no joke. The first round, let's see. Yep. First round, he had the quickest ET of the round. He beat out JT, who went at 884 with a 3. Sean went at 884 with a 1. That's badass, y'all.
Yeah.
Our homie's doing work. He's riding.
He
Don't leave
lives on
out.
that bike, man. He's putting
Yeah.
the work in for sure. He goes
Yeah.
testing all the time at his local tracks, and it's. I mean, another one that does the same thing. And I mean, who don't love Patrick Cooper? He's out there grinding, putting the work in too. And
Oh
old
yeah.
Boosa running pretty good, man. He's doing good.
And we had the OG Super Dave in the house again that you and I both got to actually talk to
He hung out with me
this
at quite a
weekend.
few, yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah. So shout out to the OG, as we said, OG Super Dave.
Yeah.
Flew in all the way from Texas to hang out with Coop, crew chief for him. That's a good crew, like you said. They work their asses off
Yeah,
too.
he told me he wish he had something he could do for me. I'm like, you don't want to be on this team, bro. Not this weekend.
Yep. But both P Coop and Sean made it to third round down to 6 bikes. Sean ultimately got defeated by the hands of Mr. Mike Davis. Close ass race. Mike went at 890 with a 1 and Sean went at 890 with a 2, and Mike had him on the tree by 200. So super close race. Just an 0-2 margin of victory there. And yeah, Cooper Patrick put up a fight against Darian Payne as well. He went at 895 to his 892 in that round.
Yeah.
Um,
I just now noticed the middle of the pack here. Old Jason Inotti is racing super stock. I didn't know that.
I think that's his dad.
No,
It
maybe.
might be his dad, dude, because his dad, well, first off, I'm assuming it's his dad He
Yeah, it
came up
is.
to me in
Yeah,
the
his dad's
lanes
there
today,
racing. Yeah,
and yeah, he's got like kind of handlebar stash. It's
yeah,
pretty rowdy
yeah,
looking. I'm all
yeah,
about that. But he just came up to me in the lane, so shout out. I think he said his name was Jason too. I don't know. We'll have
yeah,
to check with Jason.
yeah.
Anyways, Mr. Ionati came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know what you and Dustin are doing is cool." He's like, "I really like the podcast," and like once again, humbled. Anytime we hear that, it's definitely motivation to us. So we
Yeah.
we love the comments that y'all give us and the feedback. It just keeps us moving
His
forward.
dad's name's Dennis.
Dennis, okay. Well, I
Yeah,
don't know, maybe it was, but I talked to him in the lane, so that was cool.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, super stock JT over Mike Davis in all
I couldn't
Ohio
remember his
final.
name. I had to go to my Shopify.
Trusty, yeah.
Yeah, because they both got stuff from me, so I knew I'd pull it right up.
Yeah. 460. As always, huge field, 40 bikes.
I mean, it was a little different. New winner that I haven't seen, I don't think, win.
It was.
We had a new winner last time that was kind of new. I mean, not new, like in general, the whole class lifetime, but it'd been a while, you know.
Yeah. Oh, and it's been a while since Kevin White has adorned the top of the field, and he did it this
Yeah,
weekend. Him and Big Kev helps him out.
yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
to Big Kev. Yeah, congrats to Kevin White. He took out the spry Jimmy Shiflett, the hillbilly hustler.
Yeah.
The hustler was showing the young guns he still got it too, and
In the
went to the
semi, he was
finals.
dead zero, man.
Yeah, dead zero, perfect run right there, 460 with a zero.
Actually, the
Um,
semi was a really good race between him and Mark Schwam. Swam went to 8th under, and Jimmy was dead zero, and he had it, 016 to 039. It was a
oh
good
yeah,
race.
yeah, that was tight, for sure. And then Jimmy just couldn't. I don't know what happened, or if actually,
Bike slowed
I
up.
yeah, actually, I did talk to him. He said that his bike was I don't know what he said. It was either spinning or getting up on the tire, whatever
Yeah,
the bar
it
bikes
was
do. But he
it was
said it
chooching
just
out there.
yeah, he said because he was 021 and Kevin was 014, so they was dead even off the gate. But unfortunately, Mr. Hillbilly Hustler just had some issues getting down the track. Um,
Is that I mean, I know Kevin, that's a FBR chassis, right? Like
yeah,
I want to say that's if it's the first time in a while I've seen an FBR chassis win 460, which is cool. I think
yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Shout out to Marion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I'm looking at that's an FBR. I'm
Yeah, it
almost
says
positive too.
attack on it. Yeah.
Okay, heck yeah. So that was cool. A little bit different faces. Hey, look, this class is full of sharks, y'all, and you never know what you're
Yeah.
gonna get. You gotta have a little luck too. So
And
I don't know.
Kevin
I
be
didn't see the
grinding.
rounds.
He be
He
working to
works
try
his
to
ass off. Him and
yeah,
Big Kev, they're
yeah.
always working.
Trying to get the bike right, and once they now that they got a grip on it, they might be perfect for the next race. You never know.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. You want to get into the garage, I guess, or
Talk about them four wheelers. I can
I
talk
forgot
about some
about that.
four wheelers, them two smokes.
Go for it.
Man, look, I'm gonna just quickly go over this because I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about these things.
Oh,
They're all Banshees as far as I know. I will say that they're fast as fuck for a four wheeler. I mean, the number one qualifier was a 497 at 136 on a four wheeler, guys. I mean, that's pretty nuts. And
they're
lo and behold,
fast.
there was a 503, a 506. I've seen a bunch of 530s during qualifying laps, but Blake
Yeah.
Chavis,
Yeah.
from Windsor, Virginia, he got it done. He was in the final. Um, had a bad lap, but didn't matter when you're over a tenth faster. He went a 493 at 137. Holy crap. And let's see, what's his name? Tavon Huntley went 508 at 127. Now, these are different. We only think we're going to see them like one time a year, right? They just come to this race, I think, every year,
Now they're
maybe.
coming to the finals too.
Are they? Okay. They're a little different. I did catch myself sitting there just kind of looking at them going, the only thing it's got four wheels and it's got a Banshee motor, but the rest of it is just chrome moly tubing. Like it looks like a damn dragster with a four wheeler motor, basically.
It
They're all right.
does.
Pretty cool to watch. It gives us all a little bit of a break, and it's just eight of them, so it's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
a big deal up in like I think them Fullers are kind of a big deal, mostly like up in the New Jersey, Philly area. But
Yeah.
a lot of the racers I see Puerto Rico, PA, New Jersey, and a Puerto Rico. So there's one in North Carolina and one in Virginia out of the crew, you know.
Yeah.
So
I really like looking at those four wheelers, like just
mhm.
the different pipes and the welding. I like looking at, it, but damn, they're loud, and that's coming from me who has a loud ass bike. They're
Now I
loud.
mean
They remind me scarily of junior dragsters,
a
which I
little
hate.
uh a little
So,
rest in peace shout out to Kenny Popple. He was on that TV show where you do like you get they guess the dimes of what something's going to
uh-huh.
run. And he pulled up and he walked over there to talk to him about the four wheeler. And he was like, "What you got there?" And he goes, "Ah, just my old hunting four wheeler." So I thought that was pretty cool. And every
Oh,
time I
I
see
have seen
those, I
that.
think of Kenny because that's something that he done and his brother done it too. And pretty kind of cool to see that just because I
Yeah,
had friends that did it.
man, that's it's been a while since I've heard that name. Shout out to
Yeah,
Kenny,
it was that
R.I.P.
was that was that be a goat right there.
Oh yeah.
Super stock goat for sure.
Without a doubt, moving on to Boosted Bulls. Man,
Wow, man,
surprise winner here,
all about
okay?
that mullet power.
Yes, sir. That blonde mullet palette, big country coming in. Not only did he win, but he had to beat his big brother. He had to beat him first round in Melania just to keep going. And then ended up in the finals against Damian Bates on fentanyl. But big country getting the boosted bulls win, his first boosted bulls win. Shout out to him
He
in
been
the
kicking
more
Chris's
mafia.
teeth in this year, man. Chris gonna have to do something.
Yeah, yeah, and Mr.
I think they
Frankie
raced three
Stotts,
times, right? This year, I think.
they've raced a
Yeah, yeah,
bunch.
yeah. At least two, not three.
Yeah, yeah. Frankie Stotts, he made it to the second round, but Ready Whip got dethroned this past
Unfortunately, I don't
weekend.
even know what happened either. I don't know if
I
he.
didn't see it either.
Yeah, we didn't. We were.
But that's okay because Frankie needed to sit down and let somebody else win. He done won the first three races, so.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Shout out to Big Country, which that might actually boost Big Country to second in points. It might. I'm not gonna do all the calculations, but it might.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was cool. It's like seeing look, me and Dustin aren't immune to it. Y'all don't want to see us win every weekend, and we get that. We're on board with that. We still try to win every weekend, but we get it. So it's cool to see new faces that we don't always see in the winner's circle, whether it's in our classes or not. You want to grab the nitrous bulls?
yeah. I mean, this ain't a non-familiar winner here. Mr. Fondon on high roller got it done racing mob
Ah,
ties in the final. Um, I don't let's see here.
92.50. Holy smokes.
Yeah, two, four, six, eight, nine motorcycles. Um, in this,
9 grand.
yeah. I mean, that's about right. It's $1,000, I think, to
Yeah.
enter that class. So they just, pay out. You gotta that's that high roller stuff. And it's odd that high roller won the race, but that's a high roller race. Let's see. There was
No doubt.
who I was in that. Fondon, Gage Herrera, Jeremy Teasley, Brandon Litton,
Oh, yeah.
um, Jaquaz Gaskins, Antonio Patton, Desmond, Jeremy Teasley, and Gavin McMichael
Yeah.
is the ones that raced that deal. Not surprised. I do know there was a technical difficulty during some testing this weekend that we all seen some interesting things, but I'm gonna keep those to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Now looking at this, I know exactly the interesting things and which bike it was that I seen.
yeah, I guarantee it.
Fast mofo right there. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, moving on. Monster Bulls. We had a familiar face in the final. The
Yeah.
old guy of the clan. Crow Teasley made it to the final on Unhinged against Brandon Tyree on Made Man, and Made Man got it done. Brandon Tyree took that W over the OG legend, the GOAT Crow. Um, so yeah, shout out to the competitors there.
Man,
I
Brendan
didn't see
Tyree
any of
ain't
it.
no newcomer to that deal.
No,
He 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 been getting it done in that class for a minute. So um there was, I mean, there was the normal crew, Howard and Daddy O, and actually we had Mike Burkhart back, which is a sponsor of the podcast. He ain't been here in a
yeah,
while. Jazzy and Spencer, and you know, um, normal, a little bit lighter than normal for that class. There was just 8 of them. I don't know if that was a race last weekend and maybe somebody gobbled some parts up or what, but usually that bike has 12 or so, I think, or something. So little light, little light. Now we're going the DMV Bulls. I'm
yeah.
kind of like
Sorry,
when I
I'm
click
talking to
on this,
Mister Standard Cycles right now. He's in my neck of the woods.
oh, I'm clicking on these things and seeing who won because I didn't see it at the
Yeah, I didn't
racetrack.
either.
Um, in
Um,
DMV Bulls,
you got
Aubrey
that? Sorry.
Valentine.
Oh yeah.
But man, Nick Hamlet was in the final again. He won the last race and he was in the final. So misbehaving, be going
Woo!
down through there, getting it done. It's
Shout out to Nick and Dwayne Jackson. That's
yep,
that's become a really quick team, really fast, or
yep.
fast, really quick,
Yep.
however you want
And
to say
we
it.
we know we know Nick's light, and that helps on these things. But the biggest thing I think is they just made got some stuff fixed on the bike that really helped it stay alive, and it's working now, which is
Nick's
awesome.
Nick's doing work too. He's doing
Yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah. He's
He
he's
can ride
racing.
and
Yeah,
race.
yeah, and
Yeah.
riding. Yep.
No, that's cool. Shout out
All
to
motor.
those competitors. Yeah, all motors. All right. I got
It's
that.
my dude here,
Well, we'll go ahead.
Mark Blake. Got it done.
I love him too.
He riding right away.
Him
Yeah,
and
they're
his
good
wife.
people, man. Yeah, they're good crew right there. Raced Jeff Kanagi on Gotti in the finals.
Oh yeah,
They're
remember that's the We Around
that
guys. That's
yep,
Jazzy.
yep, yeah, yeah, Jeff. Yep. That's the brand new build. That bike is uh pretty fresh. Like I
And
mean,
it's
I don't
beautiful. It's got a
yeah,
killer paint job.
super clean. Jeff used to bracket race with us. He's moving up into the
He took
marks.
out Bad Bitch and Poppy
Yeah,
in the round before. So yeah, ain't no
yeah.
joke. But shout out to our boy Mark Blake getting it done. Because
Kind of
like I was
unfortunate we
looking,
can't see the numbers and know what
I
exactly
know,
went
yeah.
down.
It's so
I
weird
wish they would
looking
just
at him,
put
right?
like, spun or slow or something so we could
Yeah.
call out
Oh
what happened.
gosh.
But we didn't I don't even know what I was doing. I think we were trying to wait to see if we were going to race bracket bash or something that and
Dude, I
then
mean, I literally didn't see pretty much any racing aside from myself because I
yeah,
was running around chasing my homie.
yeah. Now since we're getting to the sportsman stuff, you want to start back at the gamblers race?
Oh yeah, because I was gonna ask you if you wanted me to get the next one.
I don't want to talk about it yet. Let's wait till last on that.
Oh gosh. All right, let's go to the gamblers race. I will start off by saying I unloaded Steven's Purple Rain bike on Friday. Dustin encouraged me once again to make some test hits. I was 013, 016 back-to-back runs, feeling great. First round, I'm 021, feeling great. I'm sitting, let's roll. I'm gonna whoa, Tiffany just snuck in the garage, scared the crap out of me. So I'm on a roll. I'm like, let's get Walker a Stasic or whatever those little electric bikes are. I'm trying to win my boy a new ride. And I
He's
pull up
just
second
walking, just like
round.
his name for now.
Yeah, I pull up second round and like, look, I try and glance up when I'm rolling down the lanes to see if I see any of my homies, right? Any of my close family that I just don't want to necessarily race, especially
Till we
second
have
round.
to. Right.
Yeah. So I'm not cherry picking, whatever. And once I commit, I commit. I don't turn around no matter what. So I look down and I'm like, oh, I don't know whose primer bike that is. I rolled up beside it. I'll be a son of a bitch if it wasn't my homie, Dwayne, who I forgot had changed his fairings to Gen 3 fairings. Anyways, he walks out of nowhere and he's like, I didn't know you wanted to smoke this early. And I laugh, but of course I'm thinking like, nah, I definitely don't want to race Dwayne. And this sucker, love him. He knows I love him because I helped him with his bike later
He
that
pulled a Ben
night.
Knight on you, didn't he?
No, he said, I'm going to give you and your students something that they can have a lesson on. And I laughed and I was filming that shit too. And I said, good, because I'm going to catch it on camera, Dwayne. Well, he gave me something. I left and
Trip zip.
man, I was like, I might have missed it, but I mean, when I'm missing it, when I'm teens on the tree, I'm usually 40 to 60, right? I go down there and Dwayne's just staring at me, like probably laughing his helmet. He wins. I get the ticket. Dwayne was trip zip. I was 50. So I did miss it. I wasn't terrible, and he just gave me no chance. So shout out to Dwayne. That was my end of that. But anyways,
I've come to the conclusion that last year, when the good Lord blessed me with the Hard Times Parts and Service Gamblers race win on Friday on the
you've been
last race,
asking for it for a while.
that was just to keep me from suicide. You know, that's all it was about, because I've lost first round or second round every race this year. So
Yeah.
back on the routine for me. Double
Yeah.
O red.
Back to that. Um, yeah. But the final of the gamblers, which was
A
David,
big deal.
yeah,
Because Jeff has actually not had any luck in the gamblers himself, and he broke his curse.
yeah, Mr. ET Gangster himself, Jeffrey Santine, beat David Ashton in the gamblers race final. David went red, but you know, Mr. ET Gangster, he's always locked and loaded, 025 and two above. So he went 825 and 823. And that was just the start of the weekend for
I've
the
come to the
ET Gangster.
conclusion that Jeff's favorite reaction time is 02 something. That's
Oh,
like where,
25. I see a lot of
yeah,
those. I think that's what
yeah,
he was in my final.
yeah, yeah. He'd be living
Um,
there.
all right. Do you want to do the bracket bash, which started Saturday and ended late Sunday?
Yeah, I can do it.
Oh
This was a
man.
big one for us. I mean, really, you guys know me and Ben has a University of Win, and I was in the lanes for Pro ET or
Yeah.
560 on Sunday while they were finishing it. And I looked over, and there was 10 or 11 bikes. Let's see, two, four,
Yeah.
6, 8, 9 bikes. And
$9.
five of those were people in the University of Win.
Yep.
And I knew right then that at least one of them was going to the next round, because two of them had to race each other. And they went on to the next round, and we got down to five, and we still had three.
3. Yep.
And go to the semis, and we had one. And in the final, we still had one, and it was Kyle Pardon. Kyle,
Man.
fucking Kyle. Like, and I think we figured it out. And I think I figured it out. I don't talk to Kyle while we're racing. I think that if you just leave Kyle alone, because sometimes Kyle will come to you and ask questions, and you give him answers, and I think it discombobulates him a little. And I was like, every time he'd come to me, I would just listen and go, okay, and just let him do his thing. Like, just go race the motorcycle.
This
And in
was
the,
a cool story though for so many reasons.
I mean, Kyle crashed the first race of the
Yeah.
year. Realistically, rushed getting back on the bike, in my opinion, too
Yeah.
quick. He was just, it's his drug. Like, that's what he wants to do, is race. And he got back on the bike, and you got to get rid of some demons after that. I've never been in that situation. Hope I never do. But
No, you do.
yeah, you got to get rid.
I've been
I've
in it.
had friends
Spencer
tell
been
me
in it.
about their
Yeah.
demons,
You
and
gotta get
there's
rid
some
of them.
demons that's gotta work their course, and eventually you'll diarrhea them out. And he did. I mean, I think that this was good for him. He needed this for that, because of the crash. And then also, as any racer, you'll get close, or you'll go rounds and you'll taste it, and then you'll lose. And it humbles you,
Oh
and
yeah.
this will be a good motivation for
And
him.
he's progressed so much, and you know, we'll take some of the credit, but a lot of it just, you have to put in the work, and he
You
puts
got
in
to
the
want
work.
it, and he
Yeah,
wants it.
he's went through every lesson in the University of Win 5 times. He asks questions, he tries to learn, and this is his second year racing, by the way. He just started racing last year.
Like
And
last
then
year when he started, he scared the shit out of me doing a burnout.
yeah.
Like, I mean, it was that,
And
that
you know
of a
what?
new.
It's funny you bring that up
I seen
because
him do a burnout this weekend. It looked really good.
dude, I literally just happened to be
I
behind
was
him
like,
at
damn,
one
he kind of
pass.
rolled out nice right
Dude,
there. He used
this
to never
is
do that.
exact sentiments. So shout out to F and Kyle, who might have a new
and
name.
and
Because
looking,
I
no,
seen
hell
that.
no, we're not changing his
Well,
name.
I seen that and I was like, man, I thought the exact same things. I was like, man, that was just a nice, beautiful burnout.
And the first thing I did look at when the results were posted, I went and looked, and the only thing I looked at was Kyle. I wanted to see, because I wasn't asking him questions. I was just letting Kyle do Kyle. And he pretty good lights, decent, and then had some really good
Oh,
ones, and good consistent weekend. I think his worst lap might have been like a 60 or a 70 something. And I'm a true believer you got to have a lucky round. And that could have been that one. I can't
It
remember
it
exactly.
wasn't bad. The first round he was
Yeah.
028, second round he was 060, which was still way better than his opponent. Then you go into the third round, he was 014.
Yeah. Good
Uh
stuff.
Fourth round, Kyle was 057, and his opponent went red. In the fifth round, he
20.
was 020
And then
and
56, round five,
56.
six.
Yep. And then the bye run, he had his worst light. He did what I did last race. He had his worst light on a bye
Oh,
run.
yeah. I
He
didn't
was
count that
80
one.
and then followed it up in the final with a 40. So,
Yeah.
man,
Nice
consistent.
clean grouping. In the final, he was 040, Big Stan was 0.108. You give Kyle 68 thou right there. Kyle was 912 on a 9 flat. Stan was a 959 off of 54. Kyle had 133 mile an hour, so he was racing, what you're
Oh
supposed to do.
yeah. Yeah, no doubt he was. Made it real tight, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
he really did. That's
Yep.
uh that's
Yep.
scary tight. That would be
It
so
would be
it'd be
68
five.
and then 12,
5 plus the 6 would
5.
be 11 and the 8. Dude, he
Wow.
took like, dude, I think he took 005.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I think he took 005,
Yeah, because
killing
you got
over a 10.
108,
That's
57.
68 plus the 50, 53 would be, oh God, we're doing math on there.
Well, I was good until you
13.
started talking
Oh,
numbers and
sorry.
lost it again.
All right, my bad. It was tight. We're not gonna
Yeah,
we're not gonna put y'all through that. But did you hear this part? And you can't make this up. First off,
I'm
I think
listening.
you've seen it. But Kyle, no shit. So Kyle came. He has a little girl and a boy, and he came to the track with his little girl Charlotte, who's like 3 or 4, I think. And Saturday night into Sunday morning, Kyle, I mean, like you literally couldn't make this up, y'all. There is no reason, and why would you think of this? He said at 3:30 Sunday morning, Charlotte woke him up, like could have been dreaming, whatever, and said, or stirred up, and he said, "Honey, what's wrong?" And she said, "Daddy, are we going to get a winner's circle photo tomorrow?" And he said, "Yes, of course." And she rolled over and went to sleep. Keep in mind, Kyle's never won an XDA, so like as he
5 foul
said,
stripe. You were right.
okay, sweet. I can do math quickly pretty good. I was second guessing. But man, that's talk about pressure. Talk about
Yeah.
pressure when your little girl wakes up in the middle of the night and wants a winter circle photo. But I will say this, before he even told me that earlier in the weekend, he said, I'm really glad I brought Charlotte because she kind of just keeps me even keel and calm. And I smiled and laughed because
He
man,
needs
that
that.
does a lot. Yeah, it does a lot. And
Yeah.
you
Well,
got to
that's
find what
exactly
works.
what he needs because when he's by himself, he is thinking about racing instead of just racing.
Yeah. And look, we that's another thing we talk a lot about in the school, and I don't mind to share that because it's nothing, it's no one size fits all, right? So you got to find what you work best, whether it's motivation, pressure, non-pressure, everybody's different. So shout out to our school member, our brother, Spencer's son, Kyle Parton, for winning Bracket Bash.
Fucking cow.
Fucking Kyle. All right, what's next?
Top
Street
sportsman.
ET? Oh, all right.
We're on Saturday.
All right, my bad. Top sports. I don't want to talk about top sports when you go for it.
Man, I don't either. I win first round, looking all good,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
decent.
that too.
Round two, raced this damn redneck and lit it 009 red on him.
Man, I was mad too because no, this was funny. So of course,
Mad, but you
it's
posted on
laddered.
Facebook a winky kissy face like you drilled me, even though I
No, I
drilled
didn't. I
myself.
did not. You made a post that said I've been double
I'm
O
either double
red.
O red or O 04 green. That's
And I
it.
sent you a kissy face as a thank you for gifting me that
Yeah.
round, is what I
Uh-huh.
was. That was a
Yeah.
kissy face. But look,
Mm-hmm.
y'all. So me and Dustin are paired up. And at this point, like it is what it is. I mean, it sucked to race him second round, but I don't get
I did a
nervous
better job at
anymore.
dialing up my motorcycle than you did yours. Just saying.
Um,
Or you might have been holding numbers. I'm not sure.
No, I wasn't because I went 187. So yes, you did a better job.
I did do a damn
Um,
good job, didn't I?
yeah, you dialed it. Which was your Achilles heel last time
Keep
we
in mind,
raced?
guys, we sit for hours
Oh
between
my gosh.
passes, and I'm gonna get on that here in a little bit.
Yeah. But me and my homie had to race, and I'm more relaxed than I've ever been when me and Dustin race. But here's the thing. Miss Skylar, who is the amazing young lady that has been around the tent and the staging lanes for pretty much all year, who has the sign that
It's
says
John
free high
Snyder's
fives.
daughter. Yeah,
Okay, is it John Snyder? Yeah, John
yeah,
Snyder's daughter. That's funny. He was messing with me today. I didn't maybe I knew that, but didn't piece it together. She is just, if y'all, first off, if y'all aren't giving that girl a high five, you need to get your priorities right. Because if you
yeah,
can't
man.
stop what you're doing to high five this girl, look,
We're
it's
not
coming from
doing
me and
nothing.
it's coming from
Yeah,
me and Dustin. You ain't that damn focused. You need to high five our little
yeah.
lady. Anyways, so like in my head, I've been telling
I
myself,
got you right here,
I've
huh?
got some good luck. I got some good luck every time I give her a high five. And I haven't seen Dustin up there, so I didn't know if he high fived or not. Well, right as I'm getting ready to go over and high five her, I see Dustin pull up and he does this little fist bump under, over, double fit, like
We
this
had a secret
whole,
thing we set
yeah,
up,
this
man.
whole damn secret thing. And right then and there, I said, I am fucked. I am
I
not
showed her the
winning.
first pass,
Yeah.
and we done it every pass after that.
But so I'm immediately in my head, I said, well, I'm screwed. I'm not winning this round. Like, that's way cooler than what I'm going to do. So I shake my head and I go up and give her my normal high five. And I'm like, I'm getting my ass beat. So, yeah,
No,
I really wished we would have had a race. So, but I did that to you one time at VMP too.
I
Remember,
can't
I
remember.
went red in Pro
Oh yeah, you
ET.
did in the final.
You
That'd
and
been way
I,
better.
dude, you know what? You and I have raced 3 times at VMP. And I
I
think
usually always red light there.
you and I have raced 3 times at VMP in Top Sportsman, and twice one of us have went red. We only had that one clean race where your bike, we'd been sitting for 6 hours and your
It
bike
picked up
ran
a
off.
10th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I knew that was going to
We
happen. I
just
just
can't
didn't
get a
trust
good
it.
race together in
Yeah.
Top Sportsman.
No, not just a good
Anyways,
old drag race. But anyway, the
third
ET
round,
gangster.
third round though,
Oh yeah, yeah.
literally was the craziest round I think I've ever had. Okay. I've been to VMP a lot. When the sun sets, it's probably the worst track I've ever been to for a sunset because it's all up in the tree. Okay.
The tree
Um,
is the sun shadow.
yeah. So I've been there, I've dealt with it. I should have paid more attention, but I was in the right lane and that's what it was. So, and I had, well, in top sports, especially, I had lane choice, but I wasn't paying attention. So I go up there for this round and it was just these perfect time, perfect, like must have been a 3-minute window. I'm telling y'all, when I pre-staged my bike, I couldn't see the opponent's lights at all. I actually had to tilt my head outside and over to the windscreen and get down to see the stage beams to see if Brian had staged. And
Yeah.
it was wild. Luckily I just
It was
had
both
luck that
identical
round.
on the
We
tree.
were both like 60 on the tree, but I had to follow the tree down, which is terrible. I hate doing that. And I pulled off the win, but I legit could not see his bulbs and could barely see any of mine. It was just terrible. And then so I made it down to the semifinals, and ET Gangster had his homie Bart uh Bart from We Around Racing. Um Bart's a great dude for sure. Always love seeing him and
Bart
talking.
done a Dustin Lee and went red on him.
He did. He went red on Jeff, and that was right after Gary Klontz whooped my ass.
Jeff actually went red on me this weekend once, which was surprising. I was shocked. I was like, man, he's never done that to me, I don't think. But
Well, you'll have that on them big jobs.
Jeff raced Gary in the final, and Gary was 006 red.
Yep, yep. Which Gary had been cutting it close. He was 007 in round 3 and 001 on me, but I had to give Gary a little bit of shit. He was making up for, I don't even know how you're that late in round 2. I won't announce it, Gary, but you was making up for that
That
round
was
2.
his lucky
Like,
round.
you ain't joking. I'm gonna give him shit forever. That was terrible. He told me that after he whooped my ass. He said, "You won't believe what I was in round 2." And he told me, and I was like, "Don't ever tell me that ever again." So, anyway, shout out to Jeff and Gary making it to the finals, and the ET Gangster notches win number 2 for the weekend.
and locked up the championship in top sportsman right then. Basically, he has to show up and qualify to seal the deal the next
Yeah.
race.
So you're pretty much looking at your top sportsman champion.
Yep.
Shout out to the ET gangster. They were
Pro
repping
ET.
their cool necklaces. So yeah. What and Mr. Curry, white privilege was up in the winner's circle photo. All
Let's
right,
do
where we
street
at?
ET. Let's do
Street
street
ET.
ET.
Go for it.
Familiar face, street ET at XDA is a true hand clutch class to lower bike counts. No matter what everybody says, that class was changed from, Gen 2s or whatever to true hand clutch to lower bike counts to speed up the race. No matter what everybody tells me, what everybody wants to think and say. But this one in the final was cool because another University of Win member was in the final. And that's a big deal for me and Ben.
Yeah.
We've got a winner and several guys that went several rounds, and
I
then
mean, 9 or 5 out of the top 9 in the
yeah,
bracket bash, then
yeah,
3 out of the top 5, then Kyle wins it. And then, yeah, we were watching Dylan Clevenstein all weekend too. And on Saturday or on Sunday in Street ET, he was on a tear. And every time
and
I
he
talked to him,
he
he
had
was
the
ready
tree
to
in the
go.
final. It just his bike was so hot that it slowed up on him. You
Yeah, I
know,
talked to him right before I left because, of course, I wanted to go over and tell him, great job and all. And he said, man, I said, well, what happened in the final? He said, man, my bike overheated. And I could see right there in his pit, it done puked out the overflow. And he said, I thought I had it cooled down. He didn't even make his buy run. Well, he
no, he
kind of
broke
made
the
his,
beams because I
yeah,
talked
he
to him
broke
about
the
it before he
beams
did
for
it.
his buy run. So he was trying to keep his bike slow, but he said she just didn't want to run that number. And then it overheated. But not to diminish
No,
another OG, Clay Davies. He's been around this game for as long as I have and still wins every year.
yep, yep,
He's a
yeah,
tough
dead
racer.
dead five in the final, got it
Yep.
done. You know, um, that's
It was like a weekend of like it was so we were talking about some new faces and some winner's circle, but it was also like this and I guess in the sportsman, it was some OGs
it
returning
be
to
like
the
that sometimes.
yeah,
Yep,
some OGs returning. So on to
Pro ET.
Pro ET, which was another OG. That's where I was going with this. We had Mr. Consistent, Mr. Predictable. It used to be, I could tell you what Mike Schultz was going to hit the tree and what he was going to run. He was going to be 030 on the tree and run. He was going to dial his bike anywhere from 905 to 910 and run that. He
A
was,
little faster now, but
yeah,
yeah,
he's a little faster, but shout out to Mike Schultz and Corey Stubner for making the finals. Corey actually had Mike on the tree some but couldn't run the number. And Mike ran an 860 on a 59 to get the big Pro ET win.
I think there
Um,
was 105 motorcycles in Pro ET.
uh, I, sounds about right.
Yeah, I think when I looked at the top sportsman ladder, there was 105. I'll tell you real quick. Yep, 105 on top sportsman qualifying.
And we also had in the final 9 bikes of this, we had 3 school members, one of which put my ass out the round before in round 4, and that was Derek Burkhead
I
Jr.
watched that
Um,
one from under the tower.
yeah, that one hurt me a little bit.
We're getting beat by our students, man.
I, I
Like,
know.
I mean, Boyd, I think he's beat me and you both, and
Oh yeah,
um,
I got him on
uh,
film beating me. That's bad.
yeah. And I guess we'll do last but not least,
Oh man, you made me.
560. And man, y'all be knowing, like, I'm good at 560. I didn't qualify good because I was tuning for Sunday because I knew it was going to be warmer. I went 558 both passes in qualifying, which is what I wanted to be in my head. That's where I thought I needed to be. Get down to the semis, and I was sitting on a bye. Before that, though, um, round 2, I was 40 on the tree. Round 3, I was 14 on the tree. Round 4, I was 008 on the tree. Round 5 on my bye, the sun was killing me. I was 54, and
Yeah,
I
I
was
know the
ready for the
sun was
final.
killing because Jimmy said it messed him up bad.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was 70 red.
Yeah, I was ready. Like, I mean, the bike, I rolled out a little bit the bypass because I just needed to get the 330 to know if it was going to be there or not. But in the final, I raced the ET Gangster. And to be honest, I was confident that I was going to do good because my bike was 330 into the number.
I was too.
Everything was,
I can't
everything
lie.
was, everything was working. I mean, the number to the 330, I think, was a 366 or something, and that's what it had to be 560.
Yeah.
And it was there damn near every pass. And
When I knew you and
I
Jeff were in the final, I love you, Jeff. You know I do. But yeah, I mean, that's the queen right there. And I was
yeah.
just, I
And
felt confident for you.
well,
But that's why we call it racing and not winning.
everybody's seen me talk about my bike wanting to pop a tire out of the beams, and it was doing it the whole day. And I was fine with it because I was racing that class and I was cutting decent lights. So I was like, just keep on popping it, whatever. And in the final, it decided it didn't want to do it no more. And it rolled the beams, and I was 087 to his 048. And of course, if you don't yank the tire of the beams and you roll through it, your ET is going to pick up. And I went a 556.
Yeah.
You know,
That was all bad, all bad.
yeah, now kudos to Jeff, man. Like he dropped right at the stripe because I just trusted my bike because I didn't really realize at the moment it didn't pop a tire up. I was just racing and trusted my hot rod and it broke out. But Jeff dropped it dead one right at the stripe when I was coming around him. He just let me go, and he dropped it dead on, which is exactly what he was supposed to do. I literally took my bike apart today after I got done working and swapped the front end, and I'm got it turned around and put a shock on it after we're done recording. So
Yeah.
try some different things.
And at the expense of Dustin, that notched Jeff his third win of the weekend.
Yep, yep. He's in
Who's done that?
a small group of people. I've done
Who's
it
done
about
that?
6 times.
You've done it 6 times? Holy shit.
Yep, yep. I done
Uh,
it in 2000 and what year was it when Jack ran IDBL?
oh man, why'd you have to mention that name? Like
Well,
15,
no,
2015.
it wasn't
Yeah.
15.
I'm looking at a plaque on my wall that says IDBL. It was 15 and
No,
maybe
it was IDBL before the track sold.
it,
I think it was
it was
16 or
IDBL
17.
for 2 years, so it was 15, 16.
16 was the year that
Okay, well,
Jason wasn't there. Yeah,
okay.
I done it 3 times that season.
Holy shit.
I remember doing an interview going, this is the third time I've tripled up this year. Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
impressive. Y'all are
and
the only two I know of. Do you know
I
anybody
done
else
it,
that's done it?
Bob Carlson, I think, has done it.
Ah, yeah, right. I think Bob has. Ah,
And I done it last year at the last race, remember? I tripled in.
the last race.
Remember my bike wasn't shifting. I rode two-tone and everything. And I won Gambler's Race, Bracket Bash, and Top Sportsman.
Oh yeah, that's right. I probably tried to forget it. I probably
Yeah.
didn't win nothing.
Yeah, I can't remember to be honest, but
It was
it's a very elite group. And I
yeah.
told Jeff today, I think on Facebook in one of the comments, he was, me and him was just talking. I'm like, look, man, I'm passing the torch on. I'm done. I'm tired, boss. Like I can't race as much as I used to. I'm just got things that I want to do instead. And I'm going to be happy with racing XDA and STBA and a little bit locally when I can. And that's it.
Yeah.
I do think I'm better when I race more, but I just can't do it anymore. Just, I got to do other things. My little
Well,
girl tonight, Harper, was like, we was watching a YouTube channel and they was catching fish out of a creek. I was like, you want to go fishing? She's like, I would love to go fishing. I'm like, well, we need to go fishing.
yeah, let's put
So,
that on the list.
yeah.
Yeah, no, but shout out to Jeff, who, as Dustin said, that's elite list. I've never done it. I've won two a couple times, but I ain't never won three. I got
No,
close. I got close that year, or maybe it was last year when we were talking about. I won the Gamblers. I won the Bracket Bash, or no, I won the Bracket Bash, Top Sportsman, and I runnered up to you in Pro ET.
last year, I when the last race, I was the semis in Pro ET. I was trying to get forward to be like really by myself.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that now. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was being greedy.
Yeah, I was remember because I was
Yeah, I
upset that I
remember.
lost
Yeah.
Pro ET.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
won
was.
three and was upset, y'all.
Yep.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I mean, it's man, when you're on and your bike is, doing what it's supposed to do and you get in a rhythm like that, some of the there's a way that you'll feel when you're going to be that good that weekend. And I've had it happen. I've been blessed enough to have that way I'm going to feel several times. And I've won five. I won five at STBA. I just now recently won four at
Or
STBA. And uh, it's not something that you're going to do, but you just get this weird, confident feeling that,
man, I've had that feeling the last two races. I've won one.
yeah. I mean, no, I don't know if you've had that feel. Maybe you have, and then people just put it on you. But I mean, it's just,
I've
I've
gotten it
never
put on
thought
me.
because I have a thing I don't do. When I was a kid, my dad would tell me, "It's your day, you're on it," and I would lose every freaking time. So I'll never think that to myself ever because I think it's a curse. But there's just times that I feel like that everything's working like it should, and I
Yeah.
just tell myself to keep doing what I'm doing, you know.
Yeah. No,
And but
there's
I'm
been
not
plenty of
mad.
times.
Me and Jeff done the hillbilly split, the Dustin Lee split as he called it in the final, and I
Yeah.
got paid for my weekend and had a good time. And actually, after we raced the final, I thought I'm gonna go push Jeff up there because I know his bike's hot because he's racing one bike and he was still on Pro ET because he went to the semis of Pro ET. And I go to this road and he's gone. I'm like, all right, well, I went to help him. I was going to push him up because I knew that his bike. Honestly, I felt sorry for his motor. The
Yeah.
engine builder in me is like, man, I know that thing's cooking, but that it takes it.
That's
Shout out
cool. That's
to
super
Nico.
cool.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it was a weird weekend. It was a weird weekend.
Well, I do want to talk about some things. So I know that when you go racing, me and Ben mentioned oil downs and things happen, right? Like when we go racing, there could be an accident that, holds you up for 30 minutes to an hour or whatever. And oil downs sometimes take 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how bad they are and if the person pulled over or whatever. I do feel like we got to work on something because one day we sit 7 hours and one day we sit 5 hours and didn't even see the racetrack from our past before. And I understand that pros, like having a solid schedule, but when things go wrong, I think everybody should be off pace. We're not recording for TV. There's not airtime. So it's not really that critical, right? So all these people that's running pro classes can be ready and be run later than versus us just sitting like a whole day of work,
Well, the
like
other thing that confuses me is like when you get to Sunday, the way it's been pretty much in the past is that like, I feel like the pros are running way closer together than they have on Friday or Saturday or anything, so they've got to be more rushed, right? You would
well,
think.
what happens if this is
So I almost wonder if they wouldn't be okay with an extra 30 minutes in
what
between rounds.
what I feel like happens is there's a schedule made to where we go, the pros go, and we're supposed to go. But 90% of the time when the pros go, things go wrong. And by the times the pros are done, it's back on their time to go again. And then we sit during another whole session of pros. And I'm not bashing Jason and XDA by no means. This is
It's
constructive
tough. Yeah, it's
criticism
tough to deal with it.
for us bracket racers. We are bracket racing. We're not racing the weather. What can we tune up we put in to go fast as we can to this weather? We are bracket racing. So if you make a pass at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. in the morning, first round, and then second round is 7 hours later, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like we
Makes it
got
really difficult to
it
bracket race.
it makes it not fun because everybody's going up there gambling their money away, guessing instead of having some knowledge, or what I just run 10 minutes ago or 2 hours ago. Like I would be okay if we have to sit, a couple hours. That's fine. That gives us time to all hydrate what this leads to, what happens after this big long break is then when we do get to go again,
We're round robin.
it's just you're round robin and just beating the crap out of us. And then they complain when you're not back to the lane as soon as the class is up. Well, if you're in multiple classes, like me in 560 and Pro ET, I got two different bikes. I feel like I'm the most efficient to make that happen because I just come back, get the other one, make sure it's got gas in it, and go to the lanes. And still, then if I drink a little bit of water, I show up late. And I'm not, it's not negative. This is just we got to make it better. And if we have to wait because oil downs and schedule got messed up, everybody should have to. Like that's just the way I look at it.
Well, I mean, like you
Um,
said, it makes our racing not nearly as fun. It makes it like
Way
that's
more
not how it's
difficult.
supposed to be. And you can argue, okay, like, yeah, like it's okay, well, it's more difficult. And it's like, yeah, but that's not what we should be dealing with. Like it just,
I mean,
as
you literally
Dustin
go up
said,
for one round and the
yeah,
sun's just coming up, and then the next round the sun's behind the tree. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's just very difficult for
I
us
would
to
rather not even run first round until like 4 o'clock. But I
something
mean,
like that. Like
I don't know. It's just
if the pros have to have secure schedule and if that's what they want, well, run them first.
well,
Run them.
but I feel like, and this just could be me, and maybe I don't know, but like you said, what's happened is that you run around the pros, something happens, blah, blah, and then it's on schedule for the next round. Well,
Why can't we just
just
run
because
our
it,
round?
well, no, here's the thing is back to my point. I can't imagine that they don't want some more time because if they're running back to back, they have less time.
Right. Give them time and let us run around. It would be
I
it would
can't
be a win-win in
imagine,
my
yeah, I
situation.
can't imagine a 30-minute to an hour window of guaranteed time for sportsmen. Just finish whatever class you're in if you do run into it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but a 30-minute to 60-minute after the last pro class, finish it. That's
Basically,
all it
what you're
is.
getting out
Yeah.
is it's not going to hurt them to get an extra 45 to turn their bikes around. It won't take us, to be honest, in 45 minutes, I feel like we could run all three of the Sunday bracket classes, Pro ET, 560, and Street ET in 45 minutes to an hour. So,
If it's third round on for sure.
yeah, so I don't really see a problem with now in this 7 hour window on Sunday, there was re-entries in it, and me and Ben won. So we sit while they run that round of re-entries. So now I
Right,
did go up for
right.
560 in the mix of that,
But
you know.
here's the thing. To Dustin's point, we won, so we didn't have to re-enter, and that
But
could
we
be a
get
good thing.
punished.
But I honestly, if I'd have known, if somebody could have said, "Hey, you're going to sit for 7 hours,
We
but
had
there
lost
will
on
be
purpose.
entry, yeah, there will be re-entry," I would 100% just red lit so that I could make a time run during re-entry because at that point, you know, it's
Yeah.
closer to when we're racing. It was just frustrating. So me and Dustin, of course, we had to vent a little bit,
And
which
we both went rounds after this long break. We both went rounds.
yeah,
We
it's not
won
like
the
we just
rounds.
lost.
We didn't lose and sour about it. We're expressing that it's super duper difficult and mentally because you sit there around your trailer for 6 hours and you're not in the mood no more. Like you go racing and then you're like, okay, let me be like making a pass on your bike and then going to work and then coming back to make another pass on your bike.
It
Like it's
was
a
very,
long
if it
time.
wasn't exact, it was very, very close to 7 hours. I
Yeah.
mean, it might have been 6.5, but it was almost
And
7 hours. And
Saturday we had a 5 hour break between round two and three of the bracket bash.
yeah, which, you know what? It wasn't 7 hours. So,
Yeah, but it was still too much.
but
Like
like,
I
it
understand if the
takes the
pros go
fun.
up and
You
it
said it
takes
right.
three
It
hours
takes
to
the
run
fun
around a
out of
pros.
it.
Yeah, if it takes if they run us, in the morning, first thing on the racetrack is us. And then the pros go up and there's just so many pros that it takes 3 hours to run all the pros, that's fine. But if there's oil downs and it takes them five, we don't go back to racing the pros again. We race us. It's our turn. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, I feel like that. And don't get me, I love the pro guys. I love watching them. I mean, I went to the fence and watched the Pro Street final because I had time. But it's not as fun for us to sit around. I feel like we like push to the side when it's like time that we want to race, and then they whip us with a whip and rush us there at the end. And I don't know.
No,
If
like you
anybody
said, it's just
listens
not
feels the
fun.
same way, maybe we ought to all email and try to do something. I think the rotation needs to be a rotation, not okay, you're over here and then we're going to run them again and then we'll bring you back when we get time. I just don't like that. I feel like that we're
Well,
not. It
one,
makes me not feel appreciated, to be honest.
well, it does. I mean, it really just does, y'all. It makes our racing tough because, you know, like we said, we're trying to dial a bike. And it's just not as much fun. And, you know, this isn't a knock. It's definitely not a knock.
Constructive
We want to
criticism.
come up with a
It's
better
real. It's
system.
the truth.
And like I
Yeah.
said, like I can't imagine on a long pro round that they wouldn't be okay with an extra 30 to an hour. That alone, even if it took 2 rounds to get through a whole cycle, say second round of the bracket
Yeah.
index, fine. That's fine. At least another round got done because it
Yeah.
wasn't 7 hours apart. So
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
we don't
Well,
have to the brutal part is as soon as the pro about third round, they tell us we're round robin. And then you're either on the track or standing in the lanes while you watch the pros go. And it's not a knock. It's just, it's very hard to go and then stop for a really long period of time and then go again. Like if I was racing a heads up class, and not all the pro sessions are heads up, 460s involved in it, but it would be easier for 460 because they're more consistently run. But they have to dial their motorcycle, you have to, if you're trying to race the weather station and seeing what the weather is to go peak performance, it's a little different than if you're trying to dial your motorcycle. And this morning the wind wasn't blowing, and then the next time you go up there, you got a 7 mile an hour tailwind because it changes what we do, and we can't control that. Versus heads up that don't affect their, like they're not trying to go a certain dial. They're the tailwind with them, you know.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
we
just a
will,
little difficult.
Dustin and I will think on it some more, and we will be bringing some suggestions up
Yeah, I mean
because
that's all we can do is
we're
just
not gonna. Yeah, but I also want to point out that like we're not just trying to bitch or anything. Like we're just
no,
bringing
we're
a
going to
subject
give
up,
suggestions.
and yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna come up with some constructive suggestions.
I mean,
So
me and you've talked about this. I was very open-minded about Top Sportsman being on Saturday
yeah,
and
but
just
it's
to see how it works. And it is not the way to go. Like it
no.
is utterly terrible.
There's a lot
And
of issues with it. And
yeah,
as Dustin said, we all, me, him, quite a few other racers, we had conversations with Jason
I
and
went around and talked to everybody for
yeah.
Jason.
Yeah, okay, then that's
And
what
I
it
was
was.
very open-minded about it, trying to just
And
like see how it works.
initially I did not like the idea for a couple different reasons, which we won't get into, but I thought it made sense for the reasoning and
And
the
we
thought
liked the
behind
fact that
it.
we didn't have to race that same bike in Pro E2.
Right, and I did like that.
Yeah.
So, but here's the problem with that is now it goes bracket bash top sportsman on Saturday. Well, I'm sorry, but all your top sportsman racers are running the bracket bash. I mean, there might be
Bracket
a
bash is a
couple.
gambler's race.
That's what I'm
That's all it
saying,
is.
but
Yeah.
it might be a couple. Okay, if there's 32, maybe five of them aren't running it, but
Yeah.
almost the entire field is. So, like, naturally, you're waiting on racers from one class to others. So, I think another thing that would help the Saturday program is put a class in between those. I don't care if it's 460. I'd actually rather it be 460 because that's the way it used to be. And honestly, the prep was better because we ran top sportsman after 460 in the big tire bikes. And it seemed like we could get the bikes moving quicker. So
Maybe they should put Pro E or Top Sportsman staggered with the pro session on Saturday. Like
yeah, I
not every
mean,
one of them, but like work them in there somehow. Like not our qualifiers, but once we start our eliminations, then run just like you said, like right after 460.
well, I even thought I think right now super stock is the last class in the pro run
Yeah.
order. And like even if they just ran, say, top sportsman super stock than the bracket bash. Like that at least gives us
Yes.
if nothing else, it legit just gives us 10 to 15 minutes. And that's all we really
Yeah.
need, to be honest. So
Yeah.
that's just one other thing. But we're going to come
It
up with
leads
some
back to
suggestions.
the go, the whoa, and then go, go, go. That's how it works. And it needs to be just go, go, go. And if oil downs happen, guys, it happens. So if you make a pass and then 2 hours later you make your next pass and they had a bad oil down and then you wait 4 hours, that's life. I get that. But the rotation needs to be a rotation, not a flat spot in the tire. Period. I don't care if you're in street ET or pro ET. We all or pro street, I mean, we all pay to come race and we all need to be on a rotation, not just a filler. That's how I look at it. And I mean, there's a lot more of us than there are them. I'm just saying.
Amen. That's our rant for tonight.
Yep. Got a little bit, you got a recap and then a little bit of the ramblings ranting going on. And it's not negative. I just like it's already like the best series there is, really. And there's just a few little, and the reason that me and Ben know this, we feel it and then we hear it from fellow racers. It's not just like me and Ben
Yeah.
feel this way. Every racer that comes to our trailer, my trailer to talk to me, is saying the same thing that we're saying right now.
There's a
So it's
lot of
not
people
like
this
it's just,
weekend. Yeah.
yeah, and it's getting progressively worse.
But
So
that's why we're bringing it up and
mentioning
we're
it
going to
out
bring
loud,
suggestions because we
right.
want to help continue to grow not only the
Right.
series,
We
but our
want people
sport.
to be happy and be
Yeah.
more racers and not people that says, I'm not going to go because last time I sit in my trailer for 7 hours waiting on my next pass or 6 hours or 5 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Got to have a rotation. I mean, I race STBA. I know STBA don't have pros, but it's a rotation. The V twin guys doesn't get any push to the side because of top gas. It's a rotation. It's a run order. It is going the same way every time, no changes, no stops. No, how many times have we been called to the lanes and then a oil down happened and then we got to go back to our trailer because they're going to run the pro session? That happens quite a bit, and that shouldn't be that way. They should
It
have to
happened.
wait.
It
Shit
happened twice at
happens.
the last race in the same
Yeah,
class.
yeah,
Like
it
same round,
happens.
everything. We went up twice.
And complaining about oil downs and blaming this and asking for this and making people buy this is not the solution. The because you're never going to stop them. Yeah, a stock motor can kick a rod, and if it's a race bike and it's been running its whole life on a racetrack, it's probably likely it's going to kick a rod. Motorcycles are going to break. Period. If it's kicking a chain and knocking the shift shaft cover and water pump and leaking water and oil on the track, I don't care what bike it is.
Right.
You can't stop oil down drag racing.
Well,
Period.
the main point is that we're not complaining about downtime. We're complaining about the
Rotation.
run, yeah, the run order,
There's
because
no rotation. It's a
there's
square wheel.
yeah, we got set out for 7 hours and that's it.
Yeah.
We're not or we're not complaining about the things we can't control, because we can't control oil downs, we can't control
But we can
crashes,
control
the
us
run
going up
order.
next.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
All right. It's
We learned this in kindergarten.
yeah,
You get in line and you go your turn, right? Like this is a not my daughter can do it. And eh, everybody takes their turn and we share and we care. And that's why we're saying what we're saying. Simple
yeah.
as that.
And we're gonna do a giveaway now.
All right.
All right.
Done griping, not unless
Yeah.
I get fired back up again.
Can you see the
Yep.
screen? All right, what
Yep.
are we giving away tonight?
What was it? A DME oil pan?
It was
Or
DME oil pan. It
yeah.
should be, I can't pull it up right now. I think it's like a 1 inch Hayabusa oil pan. All right, we will do that for Dale and shuffle it 3 times. By the way, that's 2, 3. All right, I gotta count. Um, I did change the time tonight. I did that, so it might be
Okay.
hopefully that with the shuffles gives us somebody different. All
I
right,
mean,
I'm
right
gonna
now
spin.
it's changing as it sits there and free spins. It changes, where it starts at. So
I didn't pay attention to that. We're spinning. We're spinning.
we're
I set it
spinning.
at 39 seconds because that number is awesome.
That's your bike number. Yeah. I learned a
Uh,
lot about bike numbers this weekend when that damn track timing
oh
thing.
yeah, I guarantee it. All right. DME oil pan. How much does that cost? Like 450?
430.
430. 450.
Time
Sounds
you
better.
ship it, 450.
Is it gonna
Greg.
be Mr.
Dustin Davis.
All right. Congrats, Dustin Davis. It's
That
so
man, that
small. I
thing is
thought it
on
was
the
on
line,
Greg. I
boy.
was literally announcing Greg. Shout out to my homie Greg Crawford, who bits racing in Washington, who
Yeah.
I seen this weekend. But man, I could have swore it was
That
y'all.
thing
Shout out to
is on
Dustin.
the line, bro.
Yeah.
Like it can't get no. Hey, it picks it. We're just along for
Wow.
the ride on that deal.
Dustin Davis, you got a Hayabusa oil pan coming your way. Thank you. Thank you to all our subscribers and
Yeah.
listeners. It's way too late. We got to get off here, but I'm going to let Dustin shout out the sponsors one more time before we leave.
Well, as always, we're going to go the opposite way this time. Worldwide Barons, Platinum General Services, Monster Race Products, BST Wheels, MTC Engineering, Brock's Performance, Snitz Racing, DME Racing, Hard Times Parts and Service, Penske Racing Shocks, MPS Racing, Montgomery Motorsports, Max ECU, BMF Motorsports, and University of Wynn and
Awesome.
Darnell Racing.
That's right.
Also sponsored by all these kids we got. We'll even include Spencer's kids in there.
Oh, goodness. For
Turk and
sure.
Burke. I love
All
that
right,
kid.
y'all. We're out of here.
All
Have a
right.
good one. We'll see y'all next time, whenever that may be. We don't know.
It's getting to get the whole hillbillies. It's about to get
He's
crazy.
busy. He's
I
busy.
got
We
5
snuck
in a
this one
row
in.
coming.
Yeah, we snuck
And
this
just a
one in.
note, I might be going to Montgomery this weekend because Spencer wants me to. So who knows what's
Okay.
happening.
All right, we got to get off here. Love y'all. We'll
See
see
y'all
you.
later.